Maybe, maybe not. Oh, there
Live!
it is. We're live.
We
How
are
are you?
live. QFF now on Thursdays. Pierre Rattini and hi, I'm Susan Lucas. Welcome, everybody. And I hope everyone's having a great Thursday night. Thanks for joining in. Just a quick reminder, everybody, you can text your notes to us on Facebook, on either my homepage, Sue Lucas, or Pierre Rattini's, mbbuzz.com. And for Twitter, mine's just sluke55. And Pierre, what's your Twitter handle?
Pierre, I think it's Pierre Rattini. I can't remember. I think it is. I think
I
it is.
know.
Yeah.
See, even we forget our stuff. So
There's so many. I
write
can't
it,
remember anymore.
write it down.
Yeah.
Anyway,
If you go to my website mbbuzz.com, there's some links at the top. Just click those if you want to.
that makes it easy. There you go.
If you want to
All
connect.
right.
Yeah.
So tonight we're going to talk about Google Plus. We've talked about a number of different social medias, the Facebook. We've talked about YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn. So now we're going to talk about Google Plus. And I'm going to tell you, Pierre, like you were not an Evernote fan, I am not a Google Plus fan. So tonight's your time to go ahead and convert me.
Well,
Tell me why I need to use Google Plus.
I'm not making any promises, but I do have a couple things that I think might make you think about it for sure. And I'm a big fan. I'm sure you heard the stuff a couple months back where there was a bunch of people announcing that Google Plus is now officially going to be crashing, or it's not going to be here anymore because
It's going away.
yeah, they disconnected this, that, and the other. And I honestly don't believe that's the case at all. I just think they're repositioning a few things, and for a whole bunch of reasons, I'm a big fan of Google Plus, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But for me, my personal opinion is I believe it's a great social network for real estate. And since we're talking here to realtors, I'm going to try and sort of keep the topic focused on sort of those avenues. But there are just some real advantages, and I know. Do you think it's fair to say that most realtors, when they think social media, they're probably their first place they think of is Facebook?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I've prepared is I was going to go through and share sort of three for sure. The fourth one, I'll give it a 50-50, but I think there's 3 to 4 advantages Google Plus has over Facebook, and I'll share those with everyone. And those are kind of the reasons, some of the key reasons I recommend it to real estate agents. And then we'll go through and show sort of some of the ways you can use the platform as well. So we won't be able to do the whole thing because obviously it would take a lot longer than the
Right.
approximate 30 minutes we're going to talk about here today. So yeah. So what do you think? Should I jump on share
Well,
my
let's
screen?
get into, so how do we get into Google Plus? Where do we find it? First of all, imagine you have to have a Gmail account, a
Yeah.
Google account.
Yeah,
Okay.
get yourself a Google account. Well, let me share my screen here, and then we'll bring up let me actually change something because that's not even related to anything we're talking about. All right. Before I get somebody in trouble, they'll be mad at me for showing their email. Do you see my email account now?
I do, yep.
Okay, great. Well, when you're here
in your Google account, yep.
In my Gmail account, there's a couple ways to get there. So once you're signed in into Gmail, they automatically create a Google Plus button. In fact, all these things are will be sitting there for you. And if you click this G Plus button, it'll take a sec to refresh, but you'll see that it has now moved me over to my Google Plus profile page. And since we're doing a Hangout on Air, it's kind of weird. Here's our Hangout on Air that somebody could start playing. I could play this within our recording. So there, but that's where that's the current Hangout on Air that we're currently recording, right? So anyway, this is the general layout of it, and this would be what you're looking at here is kind of the equivalent of the timeline in Facebook. It's basically they call it all, but it's a place where you can post stuff right in that section there.
Is this all stuff you've posted to the site? Or
No, the only thing that on
okay.
here that I see right now is this one, and these are all people that I'm connected to. In Facebook, you know, you like somebody and become friends. Here, you circle people that you want to follow or connect with, and you can circle them and therefore kind of follow their stuff. They do
Mm-hmm.
not have to circle you back, or they can circle you back. So it's kind of a different way of doing it, but works great for me. But yeah, this is one that's coming up because, of course, I was the one that started this Google Hangout, so that's there. And these are just different people that I'm connected to. You know, Rada, and
Right.
some of these are companies and things like that. And I follow a lot of real estate stuff. And so a couple things here, just real quick. You know, there's a place that you can share things. So you can type in here and start just typing copy. Whatever you want to type. You can add in a link right here. You can even just copy and paste a link in right here. Let me just grab something here, mb.com. Let me just grab a link here. Copy. If I come back to Google Plus. You can post stuff in here, and just like on Facebook, it'll refresh and show you what's there. And if there's multiple choices for pictures that can be selected, you can kind of click through it, find it.
Oh,
Right.
cool.
Or at this point, I can, just like on Facebook, you can erase that, write whatever else you want. This is our updated new website as an example. And on Facebook, if you type the @ symbol, you can kind of add somebody to it. If I type in the plus symbol, it's sort of the same thing. And whoever
Okay.
I'm connected to, like, for example, I could start typing MB and then make that so it's associated with our business page
And
here.
that becomes a hyperlink back to their to their Google Plus.
Yeah, to our Google Plus business page, for example. And it could also, because I know you're on here, even though you don't do a lot of stuff on here, but you're on here. I could add you in there, and Sue Lucas is or Sue Lucas. Let me do this. Find Sue. Don't need to do that. Sorry. Find Sue Lucas on our QFF page, where we do a weekly hangout, like this one. Yeah, just as an example, where obviously I'm not the best typer when I do this, but and you'll see all these links.
Same concept as Facebook with the sharing of photographs or videos, or you can put video on here as well.
Yep. Yeah, where we do a weekly hangout. Let me just erase this so let me just show you an option here. So if I click that and I hit share, you'll see it's by default, it's picked public and extended circles. Public means it's anybody can see it. Extended circles means everybody that's in my circles. It would also get shared to the people that are in their circles. And of course, these other two ones I put in on purpose. If I hit share, you'll see it populates in the timeline right there.
Okay.
And, if I click Sue Lucas, I could end up, that's how somebody could find you and connect to your page and come on over here. If I go back, MB Buzz would bring me over to the page. Another example, there's a couple of little tricks you can do. If you put these stars and you go, wow, and I put a star after it, it could be a whole bunch of words joined together too, wow. And if I do, I'm trying to remember what some of the other ones are. I use that one the most. I can't remember if I think it's a. Let me see what happens. I can't remember. Let's see in a sec. I can't remember if the second thing here is something. Let me just share that. Let me just see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah, the second one's wrong. But when you put the little stars around any group of words, as long as they're touching the word at the front and the back, or a sentence at the front and the back, it'll make it bold. So you can make something pop and things like that. I'm going to delete that because that looks ugly, of course.
Let me add, does this do hashtags like Facebook is doing now?
Yep. Yeah, and does it better.
You can follow a subject? Oh, okay.
It does it better. My mouse literally just died. I'm sitting there, I cannot move. Just give me a second.
Okay.
It's also like, well, that was fast. It just literally died.
That's
Let
funny.
me get a new battery here. Can you hear my battery? I just had to take it out.
That's all right. So while you're doing that, so Google Plus. So I have my personal profile. I have a personal email that I use, which is probably the one you picked up there.
Yep.
And so if I want to have a page, like I have Facebook pages, can I have as many as I want, or are you limited? Do you know?
I don't believe there's a limit. We have several, and we of
Okay.
course manage several for clients too. So I, from different accounts and stuff, but I don't believe, I've never heard of a limit.
Okay.
In fact, they just updated the pages dashboard, and I was just reviewing some stuff with a colleague of mine, and he has probably I don't. He has probably 20 times the number of clients that we do, and his has, I'm going to guess what, 100. So he and the dashboard is a very visual dashboard now. We may have a chance to show it, but yeah, and these are all the places where you can connect a video, an event, even a poll if you want.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So it's got some really nice features that way that I think are really cool and nice to take advantage of. And one last thing here I'll show you is a smart trick is if you type a post, the other thing you can do down here is you can remove like the extended and type here. And if I start scrolling down, these are circles that I've created. One's called Charity, one's called RDI, Myrtle Beach. There's 173 people in that.
Okay.
If I keep scrolling further down, so when it's this symbol, that means it's a circle, a group that I've sort of put together that are all sort of similar. And then when it's got this little circle with the 3 stars in it, these are community pages. And so if I click a community page, you then would be able to click what part of that community page you'd like that to show up on. Now you have to remove public because community pages are private, only to the people who are part of that community. So you would hit replace.
So sort of like a Facebook group.
Yeah. And yeah, absolutely. And it's an extremely smart way to engage and send send information to that specific community.
So like
that
targeted information.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's a very cool feature right there. I like a lot. What else? I mean, up along the top here, you can see there's choices here. These are, some of the circles, some of the groups or circles I've created. You can see people who have mentioned you and looked at your stuff. Over here on the left, in this little, when you put your mouse on top of the left-hand side here, this is where you would get to your profile page, and it'll tell you.
So this is what other people will see when they log in to your page. Okay.
Yeah, and this is sort of a default image, but you can, as you see when I put my mouse over it, you can change the cover picture. It tells you how many people are following you, how many views you've had. And these are all the posts that I would have put up right down through here. Like there was our last one on YouTube and things like that. The about page, and then there's all these tabs right here in the about page. When you're logged in as yourself, this is where you can go in and edit this entire thing. You can edit every single page of that. You click the edit button. Now you can reword any aspect of your about page. And there's a whole bunch of things that you can include in here.
Wow.
There's your posts. This is where you can post your stuff. I don't have any collections created yet, but this is where you could group like posts and topics. Photos. I do have a few, so they're all in here, and also your videos will be in this section too. YouTube, if you've got a YouTube channel connected up to the same Google Plus page, those will all show here. So a lot of our some of our Google Hangouts are sitting here right now. Plus ones, if anybody's plus one anything you've done, they'll show up there. And reviews, I don't have any personal reviews on this, so those are some of the things there. If you want to find people, you click the people little drop down here, and as soon as that loads, I'm just going to cover this part real fast. It'll give you.
Is this when you're in the people, like you were talking about circles? How does one notice, like, how do you add people to a circle, basically, I guess?
So when you do see somebody, if you put your mouse over these add buttons, you can add them to any of the circles you've already created, or if you click create new circle, you would name the circle something you want it to be called, and then you just click and add them. And you can add people to multiple circles, like you know, if this guy here, I don't know who that is, but these are suggestions people have said, you know, they're suggesting to me, but I could literally add this person into
He's a realtor, Chittendale.
Yeah. Oh, is he? Is he local?
No, he's not, but he's big into NAR stuff and everything.
Okay, well, I do have a generic realtor tab. You can see I pick people, and I if I know where they're from. Is he from any of the cities you see right there?
No, I don't know. I can't remember where.
So I'll just put him in the generic realtor tab, and now he's added in there, and you'll see because I clicked it, it put that title on him. Okay.
Okay.
So he's now in that circle. So I know he's a realtor, and if I send realtor stuff to that circle, they'll probably at least be interested in taking a look at it.
Right.
I believe what I just showed you is one of the key advantages of Google Plus over Facebook. It's just so much easier to target your message. You know, Chris Smith, I guess I can add him as a realtor. Everybody knows him, I'm assuming, or most should anyway.
Curator, yeah.
If you click this, it says these people are the people who have you in circles. So these are all the people that have you in circles. And if you have them in a circle as well, it'll say that you do underneath. But if I scroll far enough down, you'll see Nancy has me in a circle, but I don't have her in one. And I know she's a realtor, right? I'll occasionally come back here and click on them and go through that.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Here, and then if you want to look at your circles, this is where you can look at them, and these are all the circles. If you click it, it'll pull it up and show you who's all in that particular circle. If I scroll down and say, okay, who's in this Myrtle Beach circle? There they all are. And you literally can, I don't want to do this, but I could literally grab that person and throw them in that circle just by dragging them like that.
Oh, cool.
So it's very easy to organize your audiences, and therefore, once you've got your audiences organized, it's very easy to target your messaging.
Let me ask you, as far as statistically, talk about real estate, because that's really what we target, you and I, as far as our audience. Are realtors using Google Plus?
Yeah, some. There are a lot of local realtors, and of course a lot nationally, that are using it with a passion. And like I told you, there are 4 key reasons, 3 for sure, I think 4 reasons that it's really smart to do it. And one is, I think, just you can really target your message. So if you're a realtor and you're trying to find clients, well, if you join communities that are all about, for example, Myrtle Beach, and you're finding people who are coming here on vacation, coming here to you know, go on a golf trip or just on a vacation with their family, and you start conversations, it's no different than the strategy of joining a group on Facebook and connecting with people, and they get to know that you're a realtor, and lo and behold, you'll pick up a client. So there's things like that as well. So communities, do you think it's a good time? Photos, pretty common sense, is just where all your photos are, and you can add more in there if you want. Collections, I'll just quickly click it. As I told you, I haven't started this yet, but this is where you can group your posts by topic.
Okay.
I haven't done it yet, but I will. I think it's a really smart strategy. I just haven't implemented any of it yet. I haven't gotten there yet. But communities is probably my favorite place on all of Google, or all of Google Plus.
Let me ask you a question while it's in my mind.
Yeah.
What's the difference between a community and a page?
A community is created by an individual, typically, but it's very similar to having a group on Facebook. It's private to the people who are in the community, and it typically will have a very focused subjects that you can converse on. So for example, I created this Myrtle Beach SC community. So if I click it, this is a page that I started, and if you click it, you know, I don't remember what the number is. There's 1,114 members of this community, and we post stuff in here, and other people will jump in and comment or talk about it, and occasionally other people will post some of their stuff. And there's topics, like we created topics that people can post in, you know, photos. If you're a professional photographer, you know, hey, post it. If you're into weddings, there's some real estate stuff here, of course, golf stuff. And you can, you know, when you post something here and you start typing something, Down here, you would select what category in this community you think that belongs to. But again, you can post photos, links, videos, or combinations thereof and engage with that audience. So probably an even faster strategy for somebody. This currently is the largest Myrtle Beach named community on Google. So that's kind of neat. But if you're in communities and you want to, let me go back here, go back to this communities page right here. If you want to find people who are talking about real estate, if you type in the word real estate and hit enter, wait till you see this. You know, here are communities with 23,000, 19,000, 21,000, 12,000, 16, and it's just one after the other, after the other, after the other. You know, so you could, if you want to find people who are from, I don't know, Boston, I promise you, you can name anything and there's community pages about it. And, you know, these aren't quite as big, but they're still there.
Okay. So again, what's the difference between a community and what does a page do versus a community?
A page is be very similar to a Facebook business page. It's the difference between a Facebook business page, and it's the quickest way for me to describe it, versus it's your business. It's a community is more talking about all the things involved with. So
it's like it's equal to Facebook groups.
Yeah, similar to anyway. I really actually honestly like the concept of a community more because I think it opens up a whole range of topics, and then all the stuff can be coordinated too, right? So you're not having to sit and, if you want to, let's say in Myrtle Beach, as just using this as an example, your interest is only in real estate. Well, you can just click on the real estate section and go there and just converse with that part of the community, right? Right. If you're more interested in the photographs, go to the posts that are listed with photographs, so you can just see all the really cool photos that are in here. Make sense? Whereas on a page on both Google and on Facebook, that's the business generally posting all of the content. This is more about people working together to create a community.
So a page is about your business, and you're going to put your listings on there and open house information, where a community might be, you can create a community page for a neighborhood.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Gotcha.
Very good strategy.
Get in my mind how that's going to all work.
And it's what you just suggest is a very good strategy.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's communities. And of course there's events. If you have events that you want to promote, you can certainly do that here. We're doing a live hangout right now. Awesome feature, in my opinion, for all kinds of uses, as we've talked about before, everything from, you know, open houses to doing a training with your staff. If you're the broker in charge, you can do them. Nobody has to come to the office if you don't need them to. And then pages, I'll just click it really quickly. I think I have a few pages in this account, like Tidewater Golf Club, Carolina Pines Realty, and SOS Healthcare. So I've got a couple pages. If I click on Tidewater, you'll see that, you know, they have 312 followers. It shows all the information. This is the Google My Business page. This is the equivalent of what shows up in Google when people search for you as the realtor as well. So, but I just want to show you and I've been working this page for probably 3 years now. And this page gets about just shy of 30,000 visitors approximately on average per month, and gets about just shy of 2,000 clicks. That's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot of eyes. It's a lot of eyes on that page.
It's a lot of eyes, and so that, and you can go in here just like before, and you can edit your info. That's going to show up on your business page. Insights will tell you, you know, there's been 820,000, almost 1 million views. There's been, it doesn't give you a total. But here's the total for the last 30 days. If I click down here and did 90 days, you'll see it stays pretty consistent. There's, you know, just about 65 or a little over 6,500. It'll show you where, you know, people are clicking in from. Shows you in the last week, or this is the last 4 weeks that there's been, you know, on Mondays we're getting on average 33 phone calls, you know, and stuff like that. So it'll pull in a lot of data as to what's going on. It's very informative, and it'll kind of give you a feel for stuff like that. If I go to view my location for Carolina Pines, it brings you up to the exactly what their Google My Business page sidebar thing will show up for that particular company. If you're a real estate company, you know, that's what you can have control of by doing this one part. And that's a huge component to Google, you know, when you're doing Myrtle, I'll give you an example, Myrtle Beach. I don't remember if this has a 3-pack or not. I don't think it does. I want to do Myrtle Beach Real Estate Agents does. Yeah, so when you do Myrtle Beach Real Estate Agents, these are all, they call this a 3-pack, and then there's of course more hiding behind it. If you did, I'll show you, it'll be slightly different. I believe Realtors is another one that has a 3-pack. Right? And so if you click on any of these and you go over to there, it'll show you what that looks like, where it's located, all the information, connect to their reps. You can write a review, all that kind of stuff, right? So it's a very powerful aspect, because this directly affects Google search
and where you show up on the search.
Yeah, in local search. I mean, it's a major factor, and you can't do that with Facebook. It's not doable. Right. So there's advantage number 2. And let me just say the other ones, because I know we're getting close to time, if you don't mind. Here's some of the specific advantages over Facebook. You get better Google search results, meaning everything, and I mean everything you post onto Google, on your page, on your profile, everything gets indexed and everything ranks to a certain degree. Therefore, you will see on occasion, depending on what you're searching for, posts that are ranked that were posted on your Google business page, on your profile. That doesn't happen in Facebook. If you do a lot of content blogging on your website, and you take those posts and you share them onto your business page on Facebook, you can help your site and that post get ranked on the first page of Google under, you know, certain keyword phrases. Cannot be done in Facebook. Google Plus and YouTube. Well, we all know who owns both, right? And they love each other, and they take really good care of each other. And so one of the tricks and smart things to do for being found in search is, when you create a YouTube video, is to share that onto your Google Plus profile, onto your Google Plus page. Those get special treatment from Google. Your videos can oftentimes get ranked on the first page. It can help your site get rankings as well. So that's another advantage. And the YouTube Google Plus thing is just a real, probably one of the simpler recipes for success for getting found in Google search. And then the final one I'll add to it is user engagement. It is not as high as it is on Facebook, but one of the advantages when you do not have as many people, and by the way, it's not like there's nobody there. There's over 300 million people on Google. Wow. And because of your advantages of how you can target your messaging by sending it to specific circles, so you're not sending it you're not just kind of just blasting it out there. Your stuff will get seen by those people. It's not filtered down like, you know, we always talk about EdgeRank on Facebook, where if you post something on Facebook, 3, 5, 7% of your entire Facebook page will see it. They're making you pay for ads right now. It's the only way that you'll really get your entire audience to see your stuff. And even then, you got to pay a lot to get everybody to see it. One of the advantages on Google Plus, in my opinion, is organically, just by sharing your stuff, you're getting a lot of people seeing your content and getting eyeballs that want to see that stuff. And the other part of the engagement on Google Plus is they're pretty loyal. You know, even though there's only 300 million of them, it's kind of funny to say that, but
Yeah.
they're a pretty loyal group. And in real estate, I know a lot of people have been talking about millennials being kind of a target or one of the hotter targets right now. Well, almost 30% of the audience on Google Plus is millennials. It's typically a little bit more of a tech savvy kind of audience. And so if your target's millennials, you're missing out in a big way by not being on there. In my opinion, you're missing out because it's a big audience for real estate on there, in my opinion. So those are sort of some of the key features that I would say are advantages that Google Plus has over Facebook.
Wow. Well, I'll definitely get it. I'm going to try to get back into it. And like I said, I know I've been in there when it first came out, set some stuff up, and pretty much left it alone after that. So I'm going to get back out there and check it out and see what happens.
Have I converted you at least to try?
I'll let you know. Oh, I'm definitely going to try it. Definitely going to get in there. Definitely going to do it for my work and see what happens, and look for a few communities and see what's out there. So really good. So thanks.
Awesome. Well, you're welcome. Great. You're welcome. Let me know. Keep me posted. I'd love to hear. And if you run into any ideas or have questions, I'd love to hear them. And hopefully you'll be the full-time convert.
I hope so.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we are at the just 1 minute after our half hour. So I'm going to say thank you, and always lovely spending my Thursday nights with you, Pierre.
Likewise, Miss Sue. Likewise.
We will see each other next Thursday for QFF.
Yeah. Quickfire Fridays now on Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Right. We will think of a better name, but until we do, that's what it is. So right now it's QFF. I know it's a mouthful. So, all right. Well, Pierre, I'm going to sign off, and thank you again, and I'll see you next week.
Sounds good. See y'all. Bye, Miss Sue.